Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's letter to international community, an urgent appeal to compel the Nigerian government to free him. And some people will say, why is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu writing letters? Or rather, why his lawyers is advising him to write letters? Listen to me, my brothers and sisters. Everything have procedures. Whatever letters that have been written have been documented. Whatever information that I've been getting from overseas over this matter would also be documented. We are writing this letter not because we want the international community to intervene, because they are part of the problem. But let it be known that a day like this, that somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu really wrote a letter through his lawyers to the international community over the continuous incarceration of himself, of his very humble person. Because they said everything we forget, but internet never forget. So do not even see it as in form of, why are you writing letters to them? After all, they have discharged and acquitted you. Yes, they have discharged and acquitted you. Don't even forget that the documents of United Nations on arbitrary detention, which they told Buhari to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu within 6 months, is also being documented for future use. Nigeria go here in the hands of Biafra when the time comes. Biafra and the Nigeria, they will regret ever merging themselves with Biafrans. Believe it or leave it. The same way the Fulanis are passing the jihadist agenda to their generation, that is the same way that the Biafrans is going to pass all these things to the future generation, because Odioga Agbagodo in future one day. Anyway, let me hang it on here. The same IPOB leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, don't already, or rather, send another letter or petitions to NBA to sanction judges for miscarriage of justice. We are still online. In time to come, the future generation of Biafra, we ask the NBA, whatever they call them, Nigerian Bar Association, spearheaded by our own brother Osetigo, what do you do when all this injustice is happening to your own brother? He might not be there to answer these questions, but his children must surely be. They will give us, rather they will give our future generation explanation why in his own turn as the NBA chairman, he didn't do anything. He didn't sanction anybody. All these letters are for future purposes. So just read, listen, and then bypass. If you need to comment, please comment. If you want to save it for your future generation in your archive or your USB, my brother, if you can be able to do that, I will appreciate. Let's read between the lines. As you're watching, please kindly drop your own personal opinion at the comment section. Oh yeah, let's go there. To the honorable members of the international community, including the United Nations Human Rights Council, the African Union, the European Union, and all relevant global stakeholders, the Biafran populace remains profoundly appreciative of the bravery and determination exhibited by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who has devoted his life to the peaceful quest for self-determination for his people. His ongoing imprisonment by the Nigerian authorities, in spite of both international and domestic legal orders for his release, constitutes a serious injustice that necessitates immediate intervention from the global community. If you laugh me for this gaffe, we urge you to press the Nigerian government to promptly and unconditionally release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, as his detention represents a blatant infringement of international human rights law and a violation of the core tenets of justice and democracy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is currently detained solely due to his political beliefs and his advocacy for the self-determination of the Biafran people, a right that is enshrined in Article 1 of the United Nations Charter and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR. The United Nations Human Rights Committee, in its General Comment number 35 of 2014, has explicitly indicated that the detention of individuals for peaceful political expression amount to arbitrary detention, which constitutes a violation of international law. Kanu's detention, which followed an extraordinary rendition from Kenya in June 2021, served as a clear example of this abuse. His advocacy for the self-determination of Biafra is not a criminal act, but rather a legitimate exercise of fundamental rights that are recognized worldwide. The Nigerian government's refusal to comply with the court orders, including a 2022 ruling from a competent Nigerian court and the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, opinion number 58/2022, both of which demanded Kanu's immediate and unconditional release, represent a direct challenge to both local and international law. This defiance undermines the rule of law and diminishes trust in Nigeria's commitment to its obligations under the ICCPR, which has been ratified by over 170 countries of the world, including Nigeria. Article 9 of the ICCPR prohibits arbitrary detention, while Article 14 ensures the right to a fair trial, rights that have been systematically denied to Kanu through extended pre-trial detention, unjust judicial processes, and reported inhuman treatment. The United Nations clear stance on political prisoners. The United Nations have consistently condemned the detention of individuals for political reasons. United Nations General Assembly Resolution of 33/173, 1978, explicitly denounces the use of political reasons as a pretext for the detention of persons for reasons of state security without charges being brought against them, and urges states to release such detainees. Similarly, United Nations Rights Council Resolution 21 of 16, 2012 reaffirms that political imprisonment undermines democracy and calls for thorough investigations into such cases. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, in its 2022 opinion on Kanu's case, declared his detention arbitrary, citing political motivations and violations of his rights to free expression and a fair trial. This authoritative pronouncement leave no doubt Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention is unlawful and must end. A call to action. The international community has a moral and legal obligation to act. The Nigerian government actions mirror those in cases like the detention of Belarusian opposition leaders, where the United Nations Human Rights Committee has demanded immediate release due to arbitrary and politically motivated detentions. Kanu's case is no different. His prolonged incarceration, despite court orders and international appeals, signals a dangerous precedent for the suppression of dissent and erosion of human rights across the globe. Family Writers Press International urges the international community to take the following steps. Issue a unified condemnation. The United Nations Human Rights Council, the African Union, and other organizations must publicly condemn Nigeria for its failure to comply with court orders and the United Nations recommendations, insisting on Kanu's immediate release. Apply diplomatic pressure. Governments, especially those with significant influence in Nigeria, such as the United States, the United Kingdom, Russia, Israel, South Africa, and the European Union, should utilize diplomatic avenues to advocate for Kanu's release, referencing his dual Nigerian-British citizenship and Nigeria's obligation under the ICCPR. Moving forward. Support legal accountability. Promote additional submissions to the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention and the International Criminal Court to examine Nigeria's actions as potential breaches of international laws. amplify global advocacy. International human rights organizations, including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, should enhance their campaigns to bring attention to Kano's situation, making comparisons to other political prisoners like Aung San Suu Kyi and Alexei Navalny. Self-determination is never a crime and can never be a crime. The pursuit of self-determination by the Biafran people, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is rooted in the universal right to freely choose one's political status, as recognized by the United Nations Charter and the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights. The suppression of this right through arbitrary detention only exacerbates divisions and injustice. The international community must unite in affirming that self-determination is not a crime, but rather a fundamental human right. We, the Biafran people, along with the advocates for justice around the globe, urge you to take decisive action. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu transcends the liberty of a single individual. It serves as a litmus test for the international community's dedication to human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. Let us collectively raise our voices and demand that the Nigerian government release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without delay. IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu petitions NBA to sanction judges for miscarriage of justice. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has petitioned the Nigerian Bar Association calling for disciplinary measures against 3 top judges over what he described as gross judicial misconduct in his ongoing trial. In a strongly worded petition personally signed by him and shared through his lawyer, Umesi, Kanu accused Justice Binta Iyako, Haruna Samani, and Garoba Lawal of miscarriage of justice. He insisted that their handling of his case amounted to judicial abuse that has left an indelible stain on Nigeria's legal system. Kanu, who was extradited from Kenya in June of 2021 and had remained in detention at the Department of State Service facility, DSS in Abuja, chronicled what he termed a catalogue of infractions committed by the zoo judges. He urged the NBA, currently holding its annual conference in Enugu, to investigate the allegations and hold the judges accountable. According to him, only decisive action from the bar can help restore public confidence in the judiciary. Beyond sanctions, Kanu asked the NBA to take a firm stand by condemning the use of civil procedures to subvert criminal law, denouncing trials based on repealed statutes, and rejecting abductions as a lawful method of detention. The catalogue of infractions by these judges now stands as an unerasable blow to Nigeria's legal conscience. Kanu wrote, stressing that no Nigerian should ever again be subjected to unlawful detention or trial under laws that no longer exist. Anyway, my people, these are the messages I brought to my people, and I would like you to also share this message, let it go round, so that people will understand that Oji Madanana Jionweya, and this message goes to Nigerian government. Until I meet you again, have a nice day, and may the good Lord continue to bless us all. Like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos that will be coming your way as we end this broadcast. Kachineke mezioku ise.